Hello everyone, good evening. As you could see, I did my civic duty and voted today in my state's election, which I'm super thrilled about. And speaking of politics, which is a great segue onto itself, while I normally try and avoid speaking about politics on YouTube, I really feel that this is important. I want to speak briefly about the North Carolina bathroom bill. I know that there is a similar one that passed in Mississippi, but this is specific to North Carolina. According to the Trans Helpline website, their call volume since this bill has passed has doubled. It has doubled, which is it's insane. The fact that their call volume has increased twofold. And from what I understand, the call volume to the LGBT Center in Raleigh, North Carolina, has also increased exponentially. I'm going to be posting the information for both the trans helpline, which is available for people to call in both the US and Canada down below, as well as the number for the LGBT Center of Raleigh. And I also want to say that their transgender initiative has weekly meetings, so you can call them as well and ask about that, and they can give you more information and let you know when and where exactly at the center it will be. So I've been seeing a lot of memes and a lot of people posting different things about, a lot of people wouldn't be thrilled if a big, burly, hairy, bearded trans guy was forced to use the women's bathroom. Then they would really have something to complain about. And, well, yes, that's true. It's not just about, like, the manliest of men or the femmiest of women in the trans community and on the trans spectrum that are being affected by this. I think those are great, but it also affects people who don't pass, who aren't on hormones, who just for whatever reason, whether it's by choice or not, aren't, stereotypical, again, hairy, bearded men or very feminine women. And first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. Second of all, I feel that it affects those people even more because they don't pass. And a lot of people, like for instance me, I sometimes pass, but then you notice my chest because I am unfortunately unable to bind at this point. And then, oh, that's not a man. Okay, well, that's a woman. And, it's scary. It's scary, being in that position. There have been times both in New York City and elsewhere in this country that I've been where, I've needed to use the bathroom and I've looked back and forth between the men's room and the women's room, not really sure which one to use because I was afraid for my safety. Most of the time I use the men's, and here in New York City you are allowed to use the bathroom that that fits your gender identity, which is fantastic. We're very lucky here. But obviously that doesn't fit everywhere else. And I know that feeling of panic. I know that feeling of, what do I do? And what if someone says something? And do I get yelled at? Or am I going to get beaten up? Or what, should I hold it? Or should I not? And I think that as well as what so many people on the supportive end of the spectrum of the bathroom bill have been saying, it has such an effect on on people, especially younger folks in the community. And clearly, you know, the calls to these hotlines are increasing for a reason, and it really upsets me to think that these kids and these young adults are feeling so much pressure and so much it's really hard when you feel that you are being denied your basic rights just because of who you are, because of how you identify. And when you feel like that, even if you are sure of who you are and you have confidence in yourself, even if you have a great support system, it could be so hard because it's making a comment of who you are at the core of your being, and these laws are saying we don't respect you and you're not allowed to do what everyone else is. Going to the bathroom is something that everyone does. You know, there's that hashtag, you know, I just have to pee, and it's true. People just have to pee, and that's it, and there's nothing wrong with that, and we just want to feel safe going to the bathroom, and that's it. All we should worry about is if the last person who touched the door washed their hands. And not have to worry about if the cops are going to be called and if we're going to be arrested because we didn't fit in the bathroom. As far as I know, there is no record of a trans woman attacking a woman in the bathroom. Trans women are the ones who get attacked more, especially trans women of color. And I can't help but think about, you know, these younger folks who are calling and maybe feeling really bad about themselves. And I just wanted to say to them, if anyone is watching right now and you're living in North Carolina or another place that has similar laws, or even if you're not, and even if you just are having a hard time, whether you're trans or not at this point, there are people out there who truly care about you and truly love you, and they want you around, and they want you to be happy and are willing to listen. And please, if you are in crisis, reach out, whether it's to one of these hotlines or another hotline, a therapist, a friend, someone. You don't have to go it alone. There are people out there who will have your back and who will support you no matter what. And from what I understand, the people who are volunteering at these hotlines, both at the LGBT Center and at the Trans Helpline, they truly care. They really, truly do. And the best advice I can give, aside from that, is a little piece of advice that I got from, of all things, a CAT scan machine. And it was a very British CAT scan machine, so if you can imagine a proper British gentleman's voice saying this. For those who've never been in a CAT scan machine, first of all, you're very lucky. Second of all, it tells you what to do, like to breathe in normally, to hold your breath, so on and so forth. And like I said, this one was British for some reason. And it said in a very proper British voice, carry on breathing. And when I heard that, I was in pain and I was doped up on painkillers. But I heard that and I'm like, huh, that is some really good advice. And honestly, it really is. Carry on breathing. Take a deep breath in, let it out, and in the next breath, keep on going. Because if you keep carrying on, things will get better. Things will keep moving forward. And like I said, there are people out there who really, truly care and want you around and love you and are willing to listen and help you and give you as much resources as possible. So I'm going to be putting the link for the Trans Health Hotline down below that contains both numbers, both US and Canada, for their helpline, as well as the number for the LGBT Center in Raleigh, which also has weekly transgender initiative meetings. So you can also call the number and ask them for more information, and they would be glad to help you. So that's all I can really say at this point. I can end up rambling on and on about this because it really truly does upset me, and I've already rambled on enough. I think I'm hitting about 12 minutes now, so I think I'm gonna leave this here, but truly carry on breathing and reach out if you need help. Good night.